Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to week 12 of the Premier League. We have the biggest game of the weekend today. Man United versus Arsenal. Mourinho versus Wenger. Old rivalries, will they still continue? Let's find out in today's video.
And the header against the bar. And it's in! West Ham's Michail Antonio came over. The header from Kouyaté smacked against the bar. The second one headed home by Kane, heads towards the far post. It's in towards Vincent Janssen, who brings the save. And Harry Winks is there and equalises for Tottenham Hotspur. And Harry Winks. Janssen brought the save from Randolph. Ball came in. Oh, and it to do first. Payet, down goes Reed, penalty. I think it's Janssen who's been penalised by the referee here. Into the box. Mike Dean straight on it, gives a penalty kick. Lloris. 2-1 West Ham. Emphatically dispatched into the back of the Spurs net. Right into the corner. Son drilling that ball in. Harry Kane's there. Ham once again. Pushed back out by Darren Randolph, the West Ham United goalkeeper. The cross drilled in low. It was away from Ogbonna. Eriksson. Alarm bells ringing at the back as Son goes down, penalty Tottenham. Defender as he makes the challenge this time round. Surely they've won the game around here. So little time for West Ham to do anything about it. Now are set to win for the first time since the first weekend of October. Tottenham 3, West Ham 2.
And again, Yaya Toure in the box. Oh, look at that! Talk about a comeback. Feints to go one way, goes the other, gets the return pass, scores. Got to say too that Yaya Toure's shot did take a deflection. City, can it be 1-1 Palace? Wickham, Connor Wickham. It is 1-1. He takes on Zabaleta, and the shot's too strong for Claudio Bravo. Fans, it's being taken by De Bruyne. Near post ball. Oh, it's been tickled in. And it's Yaya Toure again. Yaya Toure writes his name all over the back papers tomorrow, right at the end of the game.
Flicks on to Jermaine Defoe. We know what he can do. It's Defoe, and still Jermaine Defoe. Defoe is at it yet again for Sunderland. Such a live wire when he gets into the area in the battle at the bottom end of the table. And still Patrick Van Aanholt, and now it's Anichebe, Victor Anichebe! Anichebe has another for Sunderland. With what more than Anichebe? Back-to-back Premier League games in his career. And he's managed to work it into Anichebe! All over now! Tee himself up, and the other to smash it past David Marshall. But it is not going to spoil their day.
Here's Herrera, here's Mata! And Ander Herrera found the perfect pullback for Juan. And Manchester United, that they really have deserved all day. That's Rashford. And clipped in and headed in. Olivier Giroud. It's a bullet of a header. Olivier Giroud, 4 goals.
Austin attacking the far post area and coming in. Oh, and it was wide. Good run by the fullback. Cross served up for the far post. Run, plays it in here to Firmino, should be! Oh, and wasn't! Threaded the pass in. Went for it with the outside of his foot. No goals, point apiece.
Pereira in towards Deeney, nicely cushioned. And Watford are in front after 32 seconds! All started when Drinkwater gave the ball away. Lovely cushioned header by Deeney of Zila's net. And Watford lead Leicester by 1-0. Watford look the more likely side to get a second goal. Here's Pereira curling 2-0. It's Watford 2, it's Leicester 0. Vardy. Oh, it's a foul by Britos, penalty. Britos steps across Vardy, sends him tumbling. 2-1, Leicester back in it. It's Watford 2, it's Leicester 1. Conclusively dispatched by Riyad Mahrez.
Goal once again. Ake scores it. It's been coming, no question about it. And boy, do Bournemouth deserve a lead that has been coming. You've always got to expect a goalkeeper to save that penalty. Penalty! But is this a penalty? Looks accidental for Stoke early in the second half. Oh, he's missed it! Well, it was a huge call to award the penalty. Stoke City 0, Bournemouth 1.
That could have been a handball. Wasn't given. Here's Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson again. Oh, he's pulled down. Penalty. Certain to score, Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson. What a finish. Excellent penalty. Let the keeper commit himself. And there it goes to the opposite side. Back in for Valencia. Oh, it's in! Seamus Coleman has equalised. Close to losing all 3 points. Now Everton. It was quite deliberate from Coleman. 1 goal each. Just when I needed 3 points.
Important touch. In from Hazard. Didn't know where that was. We know where it is now. It's in the net. It's Diego Costa. Into double figures for the season. Well, the Middlesbrough defenders didn't know where that was coming back down to. Exactly on the ball. Middlesbrough 0, Chelsea 1.
Rondon on mark, far post. McKean in fact to Phillips.
Instinctive reaction, just reaching out, but it goes straight to the man in form. A defensive mistake.
In support. Morrison could go all the way, and he has.
Box. You can't afford to do that with a clever player like Morrison.
Did well to get the cross in, and it's a tap in at the far post.
Third goal I was talking about. All the space in the world.
Rondon awaits the cross, and it comes to him, and he scores!
And a bit like Matt Phillips, he has perfectly put this match to bed now.
Okay guys, so the first game we had Tottenham versus West Ham, and it was a very tight game today. West Ham actually go 1-0 up from Antonio, and then Harry Winks gets one straight after for Tottenham, but Harry came back on form again, coming back from his injury, getting 2 goals, one in the 89th minute and one in like the 93rd. West Ham actually lost a 2-1 lead. West Ham played really well in the game. Unfortunately, they didn't get anything from the game, but yeah, the final score ended Tottenham 3, West Ham 2. Okay, so the next game we had Crystal Palace versus Man City, and Man City last week drawing to Middlesbrough. They don't seem to put away their chances, and Pep Guardiola is learning how difficult it can be in the Premier League. No game is easy, and when you have the chance to kill off teams, you have to. But the big man Yaya Toure is back from Man City. I think he was back from injury or something. Came on today, gets 2 goals. Dying stages of the game in the 83rd minute, a ball whipped across the box, Toure in the bottom left-hand corner. But the quality Man City have with Aguero, De Bruyne, Toure, it's going to be tough for Palace. Palace are unlucky they didn't get something from the game because they actually defended really well. And yeah, the final score ended Crystal Palace 1, Man City 2. The next game we had Sunderland versus Hull. Both teams at the moment have been on shocking form. But yeah, Defoe showing how good he can actually be, going past 3 defenders and placing it into bottom left-hand corner. And 2 goals from Ankabi, I think that's his name. But yeah, he looks like a beast at the moment. He got 1 last week and got 2 today. And Sunderland actually win 3-0 at home. And yet again, as previous weeks, Hull have not been performing. I don't think they'll stay up this season. Like, they just don't have the quality, they don't have the players. Hopefully they spend in the January transfer window to bring in some more players, because at the moment it's not looking good for Hull. And yeah, the final score ended Sunderland 3, Hull 0. Okay, so the next game we had Man United versus Arsenal, the biggest game of the weekend. And today it was a shocking performance today from Arsenal, and Man United were all over them pretty much the whole game. The way they high press, especially Pogba was really good holding off people. His strength was amazing today. A very good finish from Mata today. The way he kept the ball down just to roll across the ground, amazing finish. But yeah, just like previous weeks, Man United at home against Burnley, against Stoke, they don't finish teams off. The late stages of the game, in the 90th minute, Giroud is brought on, and so is Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oxlade-Chamberlain runs down the right hand wing, pings it over to Giroud, and a banging header header. But yeah, as Mourinho said in his interview, it's like a defeat, and you know, for Arsenal it's like a victory. Yeah, unlucky for Man United not to hold out the win. Good result for Arsenal away from home, a point. And yeah, the final score ended Man United 1, Arsenal 1. Okay, the next game we had Southampton versus Liverpool, and Sadio Mane facing his old club, and it was a very tight game today. It's not easy to go to Southampton and get a result there. You can see how Liverpool were attacking. They were very good with Mane, Firmino, Coutinho. Their front three are just deadly in the Premier League. But Southampton had a few chances with Charlie Austin, so I think in the end a draw was a fair result. But if one team actually put away a chance today to make it like 1-0, they could have easily won the game today. And yeah, the final score ended Southampton 0, Liverpool 0. Okay, so the next game we had Watford versus Leicester, and Watford last week against Liverpool getting an absolute hammering 6-1 defeat. They were looking to bounce back, and so were Leicester, being beaten 2-1 by West Brom at home. But yet again, Leicester conceding a very early goal, 32 seconds by Etienne Capoue, another goal for him, which I think makes it 6 for him for the season so far. But then Watford go 2-0 up from Roberto Pereira, an amazing shot. It was just like the one Harry Kane scored against Arsenal last season, the finesse from the left hand side. But Leicester in the 20th minute, so these goals were actually scored pretty early on. Vardy's fouled in the box by Britos, and who steps up to take the penalty? Mahrez, and he bangs it in to make it 2-1. But as you can see, Leicester at the moment is really struggling in the Premier League. It's actually a really good result for Watford today. They defended really well, and yeah, the final score ended Watford 2, Leicester 1. Okay, the next game we had Stoke versus Bournemouth, and Bournemouth last week losing to Sunderland at home, a pretty shocking defeat because Bournemouth were pretty much all over Sunderland. Very unlucky for them. Ball over the box to Ake, and he's completely unmarked and bangs a header into the back of the net. But the ref was very dodgy in today's game. In the end, it should have been a draw because both teams had a few chances. Stoke could have equalised, but they actually missed a penalty, which could have actually changed the game. But yeah, fair play to Bournemouth. They managed to hold out till the end of the game. And yeah, the final score ended Stoke 0, Bournemouth 1. Okay, the next game we had Everton versus Swansea. Bob Bradley really needs a win in the Premier League. So Swansea actually make it 1-0 from Sigurdsson. He runs into the box, gets fouled by Jagielka, and yeah, Sigurdsson bangs the penalty in top right hand corner, no saving that. But very unlucky for Swansea not to get a result away from home in the 90th minute, a header from Seamus Coleman. But yeah, in the end, a draw is probably a fair result. Everton did have a lot of chances against Swansea, and yeah, the final score ended Everton 1, Swansea 1. Okay guys, the next game we had Middlesbrough versus Chelsea, on incredible form, winning our last 5 matches, and it was our 5th clean sheet in a row. And today against Middlesbrough, it wasn't an easy match, but Diego Costa managed to get another goal, which takes it to 10 for the season for him. It was scrappy from the corner. Middlesbrough didn't know where the ball was. Middlesbrough did have a few chances in the game. Yet again, the system is working perfectly for Chelsea, getting another win, which is 6 wins in a row and 6 clean sheets in a row, and now we are top of the league. Pedro was unlucky not to get a few goals today, and yeah, Chelsea's next game is Tottenham at home. The game after that we have Man City, so if we can get results out of those 2 big games, Chelsea are looking like serious title contenders. And yeah, the final score ended Middlesbrough 0, Chelsea 1. Okay guys, I've just come back from watching the West Brom Burnley game, and it actually ended 4-0 to West Brom. West Brom were actually really good today on the Monday night, scoring very early on in the 4th minute from Phillips, and it was complete domination from West Brom. Goals from Morrison, Fletcher and Rondon to finish it off in the end. Burnley pretty much showed nothing in the whole game. I think only 1 shot on target. That is West Brom's biggest win of the season so far, which takes them up to 9th in the table, which is alright for West Brom. And yeah, the final score ended West Brom 4, Burnley 0. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed Week 12 of the Premier League. Sorry if this is going up a bit later. I've had issues with copyright over these last few days. And yeah, if you check down below in the description, I'll have a playlist of every single week of the Premier League just down below right now, so you go check all of them out. And also in the description, there'll be some other videos that I've done on my channel. You know, I do FIFA videos as well, so yeah, go check out them. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, and peace.